Look, so I've been watching a bunch of the House of Dragons season 3, episode 7, reviews, recaps, blah blah blah. But no one is talking about this one line that Lord Ormund had said to Lord Corlys, I think his name is, and um, it's a very heavy loaded sentence, statement, and question that he says in the scene. And the scene opens up with him cutting, Lord Ormond cutting a piece of chicken breast, it looks like, and he states these words, quote, "The masters tell me the fat of livestock is beneficial to the bones, but I do wonder how something so slippery in substance can truly be benign." End quote. That's that statement right there is massive. That's a very intentional piece of dialogue to start off that scene with him cutting into it, and plus his accent and his delivery. So, the masters tell me the fat of livestock is beneficial to the bones, but I do wonder how something so slippery in substance can be so benign, can truly be benign. So if you break that sentence down, if you break that statement down, that question down, that is a very overloaded metaphor for a lot of areas in society that are current today, obviously back then, but it's just how we perceive things. And the fact that he starts off by saying, "The masters tell me the fat of livestock," being that he's saying the masters tell me, he doesn't even sound like he believes it himself. It sounds like this is something that he's being told. Like these are truths that he had to adhere to continue his upbringing and what he deems to be truth. The masters tell me. It wasn't something that he discovers. It wasn't a truth that he honors. He's saying that the masters tell me the fat of livestock is beneficial to the bones, which means your health. And he's being told, like FDA, right? He's being told that this is good for you. This is good for you. This is good for you. But I do wonder. He continues, but I do wonder how something so slippery in substance, and when you use the word slippery and put it in that kind of meaning, it sounds like it's giving a negative connotation to the whole essence of what the masters that he's referring to has been telling them. Something so slippery in substance. Slippery in substance. Doesn't sound appealing, doesn't sound attractive. It sounds kind of suspicious, which is how he makes it sound. I do wonder how something so slippery in substance can truly be benign, which he's meaning can truly be ignored, can truly be like, really? It's nothing we don't need to worry about. That's it. And there's so much depth into that sentence that the directors, the writer, they chose for that to be an opening scene. I forgot what the previous scene was, but it was the very next scene of him just going straight into cutting into the food, and then that line is delivered, and then you see Lord, Corlys is sitting there like, then he, the conversation begins. But there's a reason why these directors and writers focus their attention on these scenes to be shown, how they're shown, and the opening dialogue. And for that to be the opening sentence for that particular scene is monumental. And I think it's very overlooked in a majority of the reviews and discussions about this episode. And I'm nitpicking. I'm really like diving into an area that's really doesn't have anything to do with the show per se, because I think it speaks of a bigger essence of humanity, society, and everything. So when he's analyzing the concept of the masters tell me, already right there, that makes it sound suspicious. That makes it sound like you're being persuaded to believe in something that you may question to be true or not. Then he says, the masters tell me the fat of livestock is beneficial to the bones. Remember, we used to believe that all the dairy stuff, the FDA had like that chart of what we used to deem as healthy for your intake, like eating all these eggs, but didn't think about the cholesterol, eating all the white bread and all that stuff, and all these things that the FDA thought was beneficial for you and ended up being not best for your dietary concerns and stuff. So, but then he goes, but I do wonder how something so slippery in substance can truly be benign. And that's questioning what he's been told to be truth. And I think there's also a parallel aspect of it of Corliss's role and how he thinks of him as in his position of how he's been able to really stay out of the eye of threat because he's been overseas. He hasn't been the focus of a main threat, and kind of like the way that the sentence is structured is like almost as if he's the fat of the livestock, where he's overlooked and benign, like he's not a big thing. But meanwhile, Lord Corliss has been very active in his deeds and his actions with supporting Lord Rhaenys throne and stuff. So he hasn't been benign at all. So I think he's comparing him to the fat of livestock, and he's considering him as a slippery substance, and how it really shouldn't be a benign consideration. Like, this guy is like, no, he is seeing him as a true area of trouble for him, and now he's captured, and et cetera, et cetera. So there's a double that statement I thought had a massive amount of depth to that opening scene of him cutting into the chicken, the chicken breast, whatever he was eating it, and his delivery was so poised and on point and very calculated about the words he chose to say. Well, he didn't. I mean, the script, the dialogue, and no one's talking about that. Everyone's going with the Easter eggs and all that stuff, and I find that all very interesting as well too. But man, let me read this to you again. Quote: "The masters tell me the fat of livestock is beneficial to the bones, but I do wonder how something so slippery in substance can truly be benign." That is deep shit. That is deep, man. So anyway, I want to know what you think. This is my first time ever doing any kind of discussing of any TV show. I watch a lot of shows, movies, and whatnot, and I have a lot of opinions about it, but I never decided to talk about anything that was on my mind, so this is my first time. But I literally wrote down that quote on the back of a lottery ticket because I was so impressed with that line, and especially for that scene. I thought that was it's not a diabolical line or something. It's just such a profound statement and question to look into when analyzing just society today. I mean, back then, but today, and what you've been told and what you believe in and everything. I think it's it's up there with one of the greatest quotes and questions to really analyze outside of even this fictitious story of House of Dragons and stuff. I think it's a very deep, push on how to really think about this sentence in the whole, let alone for the show. So anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, let me know what you think. I am first time doing this here, man, but like, I love House of Dragons, but dude, that sentence, that statement, that opening scene, bam, I thought it was dope. All right, that's it. That's all I got. Let me know what you think. Bye.